The US Army is currently transporting 1.3 million soldiers and vehicles in a large convoy through the desert. Little do they know, they're about to be ambushed. Insurgents from the mountains have come down to attack them, and they've brought some serious gas. TOS-1 systems from the Russians, as well as BTRs from the Russians. Will the US be able to stop them with their jet planes, as well as M1 Abrams, Apache helicopters, and robotic autocannons? Only time will tell. Alrighty then, gamers, let's go ahead and press start here and commence the ambush. The insurgents are running from their hiding places out to the US Army here, who all of a sudden sees them on their radar and starts trying to counterattack as quickly as they possibly can. Now, the interesting thing about this ambush battle is that both sides have 1.3 million soldiers and vehicles. However, the US Army is significantly stronger than the insurgents just in general. The US troopers have 300 health, the insurgents only have 250. The US guns do more damage than the insurgent guns, so the insurgents might be equal in terms of numbers, but in terms of actual quality of soldiers, they're in fact quite a bit weaker. But hopefully, these ambush positions kind of make up for that because they do have better cover. These guys right here, not so much, but most of their fellows are within these mountains and hills and in small little villages and things like that, where they can actually ambush quite nicely and utilize cover to their advantage. So basically hoping that the insurgents manage to use that cover enough to make this a somewhat even battle. And it seems to be happening right now as the insurgents they're staying on par with the US Army currently in terms of number of soldiers still alive, which is very good. And you can see right here in the mountains, they are coming up from their ambush positions and tangoing with the US Army, and they do have those nice little hills to hide behind. What's up, gamers? I'm here to tell you about Instant Gaming. Instant Gaming is an amazing place where you can get some fire deals on all sorts of video games. Seriously, it's like 60 to 95% off, as you can see here. These are all of the Star Wars titles they have. They literally have every Star Wars title. You can also get XCOM here, Men of War Assault Squad 2. All of the games I play on the channel you can buy here for extremely cheap prices. If you use my affiliate link in the description, it helps me out a ton. So thank you guys for listening to this sponsorship, and thank you to Instant Gaming for continuing to sponsor the channel. Okay, moving over this way to check out the BTRs currently and see how they are doing. They do have flechetta rounds, which are pretty sick, and they're fighting a bunch of these Harrier jets right here, which are shooting straight into that ground right there, which is not exactly the best thing to be shooting, I would say. Definitely not. And there's also insurgents up here coming out of their ambush positions to fire down off the mountain as well, and they're getting hit by some of these Harrier jet missiles as well. As you can see, they're kind of tumbling through the air like crazy. Now, one of the best insurgent weapons is going to be these TOS systems over this way, and they are going to be fighting a number of Abrams down here, which could be dangerous because those Abrams are definitely capable of taking out these TOSs. We've seen it done before. But these things up here, they don't seem to be firing right now, but if they were, there we go, they're firing now, and you can see just how many missiles are in each of these shots and how devastating it can be against the US Army from miles away. Look at this, just rounding fire, getting hundreds of kills all at once right there. It's extremely impressive. We've got some insurgents coming out of this small village right over this way, interacting with a lot of modern soldiers over here. Now let's check out the front of the US convoy. So we've got troopers cascading down from this mountaintop, which is pretty baller. Then we've got some encircling the front lines over here. The US is taking up hillside positions over here, trying to hold out and trying not to die, but this is very chaotic, and the insurgents are pushing them this whole time. Look at all those guys swarming in, trying to push the advantage on these US soldiers. It's a pretty smart move, as they're managing to capitalize on this quite a bit. Here are the Apache helicopters, and these things are currently still very much so alive, and you can see some of that missile fire going out from them and striking in front of some of these insurgents that I tucked away in this little mountain valley. So those guys are coming out of the valley system right there, coming forward and firing in at a lot of these US soldiers, and then there's more insurgents in this valley over here, and it looks like they outnumber these US soldiers over here by a considerable amount. And then there's even more insurgents on top. Oh no! There used to be insurgents up here. They've died to the US Army right there, and now it's these insurgents all the way up here firing down at all these US soldiers below, but they're also dying pretty considerably as well. That is pretty crazy. Right now, the US soldiers have 667,000 troopers left. The insurgents actually outnumber them by 100,000 now. So the insurgents are surprisingly winning this thing by a decent bit here. That is fairly impressive. And this mountaintop area over here, I mean, it looks like the insurgents are losing, but they're not. They're actually currently winning, and I think it's mainly because of the front over that way. That is helping them out considerably. Also, those TOS systems, look at this. Pretty much all of these deaths here are due to the TOS system, which is crazy. All of the Abrams over here are dead, which is insane as well. But look, modern soldiers have figured out the TOS system over this way and are now going to engage with it. Insurgents sending some reinforcements from the top of the mountain down to try and support some of these, but is it going to be enough? We're not entirely sure, because those TOSs are dying. Look at this. A number of them dead over this way. There's still lots more over here, and I think there's some behind the mountain. Oh, maybe not. Oh, okay, so I think that might actually be it right there. So if those go down, it is a danger zone. Let's go check back in on the flanks over this way. Are these insurgents? Yeah, these are insurgents moving this way and fighting more modern soldiers over here. And then these are also modern soldiers. This is a big blockade of modern soldiers. In the very rear flank here, they're fighting a number of insurgents coming from over this way as these guys managed to win their small battle and are moving here. Over here, these are more insurgents, yes. And in the very rear, there were 10 autocannons, and oh, here they are. These things, while decently devastating, it looks like they did die, so RIP to them. The insurgents currently own the entirety of the back lines over here. What's going on this mountain is what I'm curious about. All right, what do we want to bet? Are these insurgents or modern soldiers here? They are modern soldiers. Okay, modern US Army soldiers. They're just called modern soldiers in the game, though. And it looks like they are taking on some last-minute insurgent resistance on these mountains. I wouldn't be surprised if some more insurgents came from the back lines over there to flank these guys on the mountain, and then the US soldiers get to use this mountain as their defensive point. That would be decently interesting, I would definitely say. Over here, I think these modern soldiers will kill these insurgents, but again, oh no, these are the modern soldiers. These are the insurgents. Oh, these insurgents are definitely going to kill these modern soldiers then. For sure. And then over here, these are modern soldiers. So yeah, the back lines are almost completely kaputs. We got to move to the front if we want to see anything. And earlier, I was not convinced the front was going to survive this. All right, now the big question is, are these modern soldiers or insurgents over here? All the BTRs are dead, so that means these are modern soldiers who managed to eliminate the BTRs, and we do see some of those Harrier jets are still firing out, which is big. That's pretty much it for the big weaponry for the US currently. And I believe they lost a couple back here. Maybe not. Yeah, I think this one's dead. So yeah, they did lose a couple back there, which, I mean, kind of blows. There's more modern soldiers there. And these are all insurgents right here, I believe. Yes, these are all insurgents. These are all insurgents now surrounding the Apache helicopters, which will go down eventually here, for sure. But hopefully they can get a few more kills. I've seen actually, I don't think I've ever seen these Apaches die due to machine gun fire. I've only seen them actually die to melee units, so I don't know. They seem kind of okay at the moment. Yeah, they have not lost any health. Are these just invincible? These might be invincible from ranged units, which would be very concerning for the insurgents for sure. Interesting. Well, we just have to see what happens there, I suppose. There's no point in worrying about it right now. Modern soldiers trying to come down off this mountain to help out those Apache helicopters, but they are meeting a lot of resistance, which is not good for them. They're also moving over this way. Again, a lot of resistance. So the front lines here are going down for sure. Who are these guys? Those are more insurgents, and they are fighting more modern soldiers who somehow took the base of this mountain. Did they take out all the TOSs? These are all modern soldiers. Wait, are these things alive? No, these are dead. All of the TOS systems are dead. The insurgents failed to defend it, so now these modern soldiers are going to be coming off of this mountain and killing these insurgents here, and then hopefully going to help out those guys over that way. Oh man, this is interesting, dude. And then the flanks over here. So these insurgents are now facing Harrier jets, which is crazy. Those can die, but they do take a lot of skill to kill. But you can see they're getting quite bloodied. So they'll be fighting that for a little while, I think. Those are very powerful. And then these guys are going to fight modern soldiers on top of the mountain who are coming down off of the mountain to fight them. So this is crazy. This is absolutely bananas. There's so much happening on this battlefield. I think I would like to time-lapse the insurgents on the right here attacking the modern soldiers on the left coming out of that village, because I think this will be an interesting fight, and hopefully the insurgents can win it, just because I want to see an ambush victory here. Not that I'm against the US or anything like that, but I just like it would be interesting if the ambushers actually won this, despite all odds kind of being against them here. So we'll see. And there we have it. The insurgents do manage a W on the back lines here, and they are just roasting them now. They're just moving in real fast. But it looks like the modern soldiers over here have pivoted with their Harrier jets as well. I'm seeing the fire from them. There they are right there. And they are now advancing on these insurgents over this way. We're going to flank these guys who defeated the mountain forces, although there's still a couple mountain forces left, but they should be able to defeat them and then pivot to fight the Harrier forces over here pretty quickly. Now, the question is what's going on with the Apaches, because this could kind of bug the entire thing. First of all, what's going on over here, though? These are modern soldiers still fighting insurgents on top of the mountain. They're actually kind of taking the mountain back a little bit. That's pretty cool. Okay. I did not mean to place that marker there. I don't even know when I did that, but alright. So did the insurgents kill any of these? Or no? Man, the Apaches might be invincible, which kind of messes this whole thing up. I say if the insurgents win everything but the Apaches, the insurgents win. Okay? Luckily, there's not a lot of insurgents really focusing on them, and the Apaches don't really seem to care to move anywhere, and they don't get a crazy amount of kills because there's only 5 of them, and they can only send so many shots a minute. So I don't think they're a huge game changer to this thing. And most of the action seems over here anyway at this point, so that's good. So here come the insurgents coming up this hill. Why don't we time-lapse this? Because it's interesting to see the fight back and forth on this hill. Alright boys, modern soldiers up here managed to take out the insurgents, mainly due to their Harrier jets, I believe. I think the last of the insurgents, there might be a couple over there, but like the last main army of theirs is over here. And they're having a tough time against the US technological advantage here with the Harrier jets, I will say. The TOS systems kind of failed them. This is basically the insurgents' last stand over here, and as you can see, they're getting kind of melted right now. They're still getting a decent number of kills, but overall, I'm not sure they're going to be able to do it. Right now, it's 135,000 insurgents left alive and 107,000 U.S. Army soldiers left alive. So the U.S. Army has narrowed the gap to just 30,000. Oh, but they're melting the insurgents now. Wow, they just actually passed them while we were talking there. Oh yeah, they are absolutely melting these guys. It's Jover. It's Jover. Let's watch the insurgents die out on the left. The modern soldiers are the ones firing on the right with the big cannons. So enjoy, but yeah, this is probably going to be an L for the insurgents here. Well, this fight is Jover over this way. But the modern soldiers still have approximately 20,000 insurgents to deal with. It's not over here, so they must be over this way, I guess. There's 74,000 U.S. soldiers left alive. Oh, they're going this way. Who are they fighting, though? Where Where are y'all off to? Where are the insurgents? They're like heading this way. The insurgents stuck somewhere? This is interesting. I don't know where the insurgents are. Are they like stuck on a mountain? Oh, is that them? Yo, here they are. They are getting shot at by some US soldiers over this way. Yeah, look at that. That's kind of interesting. There are the Apaches. I might as well just let this play out, you know? So, let's see. Let's see what happens. Alright guys, quick update. It's been like 30 minutes and the insurgents are still slowly dying here. They're down to 3,000 men. The US Army has 71,000 still. They've lost almost no one. It's the insurgents who are just losing everyone. So yeah, we'll let them die out here. And there we have it. The modern soldiers end up winning with 71,000 soldiers left alive, defeating the ambushers. It was kind of close there for a little bit. That got pretty exciting. I thought the insurgents were going to win, but no. Either way, guys, that's going to be about it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please be sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and comment down below. Peace. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Be sure to click that subscribe button for more content, and hit the notification bell if you'd like to be alerted to whenever I live stream or upload. Thanks so much.